All right, what's going on? Welcome back. It is the Bro Church Podcast. That's the Dave. I'm Felix. We're back. Dave, there's a lot of shit going on in the bad boy world.
You ain't lying.
We had a whole like starting off to prepare for a podcast about fairy smut, and we ended up getting mollywopped with the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy as we know him from our era, the bad boy hip hop mogul. Arrested. Here's the indictment. So my coworker prints out the indictment when it comes in. It is, dude. It's
so good. You have to get hard copy of it.
United States of America versus Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love. Because he changed his name to Love a couple years ago. Or he started going by Love.
He should change his name to Baby Oil.
Dude, this is fucking bananas. For those that don't know, P. Diddy been, back in March, a video was released of him smacking up Cassie in a hotel, dragging her and smacking her around while he was in a bath towel in the hallway. And since then, it just hasn't been good. He like flew to some remote island, recorded a video apology, so he admits that was him. And since then, it was like the fucking Homeland Security raids his homes. And what did they find? You know where I'm going. What did they find? 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube.
What?
Amongst other things, but I'm just starting there, dude.
Amongst other things, you know the new news? You know what the update to that is? Did you hear that they not only find 1,000 bottles of lube, but breaking news is they also found 748 dildos.
Yeah. Is that real? You're lying. I didn't even see that.
I'm not lying. I swear to God, I just saw it.
Yo, what is Diddy doing? What is Diddy doing?
What the fuck are you gonna do with 748 of that? What are you gonna do with 748 of it? Like, Jesus, you're a collector right now. Like,
well, he has these freak offs.
A hobby.
He was having these freak offs, so people are probably bringing their own dildos, bringing extra dildos, leaving them around. He's got his people collecting the dildos, sanitizing them because, recycle and reuse.
Dude, I didn't even know 748 existed. I thought there was like one brand. Apparently not.
Dude, can you imagine?
Makes and models.
Can you imagine being Homeland Security and being like, "Hey, Ralph, there's a room full of dildos. Do we have to? I got gloves, but I'm saying, I don't know whose ass they were in, Ralph. I didn't sign up for this. I'm trying to secure the homeland, and we're invading P. Diddy's mansions, and he's got 700 dildos in this room.
Imagine having to be the person to have to log all that shit for the crime, because every time you take evidence, then you got to log it. Every piece of evidence that you get, you got to log it. Imagine sitting there and have to log 748 types of dildos that you gotta name by name describe it. Like, after a while you start naming them.
Oh my God. Yeah, because you have to like remember, like, where's the genie in the bottle, because it's shaped like a bottle. Like, the genie in the bottle.
Where's Optimus Prime, man?
Where's Optimus Prime?
Because you like transforms into like something.
Yeah, the base of the dildo that's actually like fake balls. It's got a flat, so it kind of like suctions itself to the floor. That actually is removable, so they call it Optimus Prime because it transforms. In case you want to put the balls. And
every time you turn it on, it does a transformer.
That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? That was probably his favorite one.
Yeah. And then the sneaky dildo, they call it like the Batman dildo. It just comes out of nowhere.
They can never find it because it's always in the shadows.
It just shows up. That's in the shadows.
It's actually a twofer because it's like a Bruce Wayne version. Everybody recognizes that one.
There's two of them.
You turn the dildo inside out and it's Batman.
Oh my god, dude, 748. I don't think I got 748 ideas even to describe any of that shit. Like, that's fucking crazy. And on top of 1,000 bottles, man, like, what the hell? I mean, you think he was greasing up when they were about to arrest him? You think he was standing there like getting all baby oil? Obviously, they can't catch me now. Can't nobody hold me down now.
Can't nobody hold. It makes you wonder, like, why he was always so shiny in those videos. I thought,
no, straight up at this point, there it is. I mean, the dude's soaked in baby oil. I mean, he had to.
Now, look, we're having fun, and we're going to continue to have fun at his expense because that's the crutch of the podcast. But Dave and I are fully aware there's also a very serious side of this as well. There's a lot of abuse with the freak offs, sex slaves, people that were women were abused, manipulation, human trafficking over state borders, promising a career and all that. And so again, I go back to that video that was released with Cassie getting smacked up, which was an artist of his, but also I think like they were together. I don't know the ins and outs of that. I don't really follow Diddy that much, but when the video came out, there was no way you couldn't tell that it wasn't him. It was definitely him. You couldn't say it wasn't. And he runs out because she's trying to get away. She's walking out. She goes through the hotel hallway to the elevators. He comes running out of his room in his towel, still wrapped around him like he had just gotten out the shower, and beats her with one hand. So that, along with this. Listen, I went through this indictment, and I'm highlighting things, and there's so many things from at least in or about 2008, Sean Combs, aka P Diddy's, etc., and others known and unknown were members and associates of a criminal organization, the Combs Enterprise. It's being considered organized crime because of how detailed and structured it was. He's recording people unbeknownst to them. He has AR-15s with the serial number defaced off of them, which is a huge no-no. And it's like, it's blowing, I don't know about you, dude, but it's blowing my mind because I'm like, this is fucking P. Diddy. Like, just P. Diddy, who was just 20 years ago just jiving and shooking and dancing and moving, and nobody can hold me down. And it's like, damn, dude, is that what power does to you? Is that what power does?
Yeah, I mean, dude, he was running the industry back then, you know what I mean? I mean, there's conspiracies that he had, Biggie and Tupac taken out, because they were trying to out him or something like that. Or there's conspiracies now that are starting to line up that make sense now. They still haven't proven anything yet because, all these are still allegations in regards to Biggie and Tupac, but it all is starting to line up, dude. Like, this is some serious shit. I mean, you got to think Eminem tried to warn us about him. 50 Cent's been talking about it for years.
50 Cent is trolling him. 50 Cent is trolling his ass.
Oh, like dude.
That's one of the things that I've always loved about 50 Cent is he trolls people. He does not care. And he shares a picture of him. He shares a picture of him with on the Drew Barrymore show, and he says, "Here I am keeping good company with Drew Barrymore, and I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house."
Yep. Oh yeah, he's
any opportunity he's going to cash in, dude. Don't be surprised if he releases a lubricant brand all of a sudden.
Dude, I'm telling you, watch it. A Diddy brand.
I got my barber today was cutting my hair, and he said, "Yeah, for real, no Diddy." Like, that's the whole shit now. Like,
that's gonna be the new thing now.
Like don't go there with me. Nah, no Diddy. Yeah, man.
Johnson & Johnson is gonna have to change their brand names now.
Okay, so okay, thank you, because one of the things that I was thinking was like, damn, that the amount of business that he's been giving, and we're assuming it's Johnson and Johnson. I don't know the details of the brand.
I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, because if it's high quality brand, that's got to be Johnson and Johnson.
My coworker and I, Wyman, he was talking to me like, "Yo, you think the guy that delivered the lotion and the lube and the oils?" You think after a while, he's like, y'all go through a lot of. We're delivering this in bulk, like every 3 weeks, like for years.
You know what? They were organizing, like you were saying, it was organized crime. They were bringing it in like it was contraband. They were trying to sneak it in, like wrapped in duct tape and shit.
That's 1,000 bottles that were found in the homes. That's not counting
everywhere
the ones
else
that he's been using, the ones that could be on yachts or in his car, or I mean, this guy obviously has a sex drive, but it's very evil.
Sex drive, Jesus.
Yeah, now he's under suicide watch at the Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center.
He ain't gonna do nothing.
Well, I think, the funny thing is like you get the Jeff what's his name, Epstein.
Yeah, that's true.
You get that type of like scenario where it's like, is Diddy gonna all of a sudden commit suicide?
Yeah,
because
that's right.
You can't tell me that now Sean Combs isn't sitting there going, if I'm going down, then some of y'all are going down too. And there's big
and
names.
he's gonna do it too. He's already said it. Remember when he was on the island? He made that video. He was naming names. He's like, I'm gonna take this guy down. I'm gonna take this guy down. Like he already has a quote unquote hit list in regards to taking people down, dude. And I actually honestly hope he does, because they need to be outed too. Because anybody to help that son of a bitch get to where he needed to get to, especially supplied him with all that oil, needs to be advertised. You see what I'm saying? They need to be brought out.
Yeah, that's commitment.
I can't get away from it, dude.
Like, do you want to be that guy that they end up finding and be like, this is the guy that the Amazon account was in his name, so Diddy didn't get hit. It was in his name. This motherfucker's been ordering the oils for P Diddy for the past 10 years or so.
They call him Slick Pete.
Slick Pete. He promised me a rapping career, but I got a stutter.
Yo, you know what's gonna happen now? If I know P Diddy, he's probably going to start and cut an album with R. Kelly now. It's going to be a C Block album with R. Kelly. They're both going to come out with a song, or like, I've been around the shower.
We came out the closet. I'm gonna bring in the lube. I'm bringing the lube for you.
Somebody bring me soap on a rope.
After Combs' arrest, the singer Kesha, remember her? Wake up in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Like, she changed the lyrics to the song.
Smart.
Dude. It is, because at this point it says wake up in the morning like fuck P Diddy. That's what the new lyrics are. This is just a huge domino game now, where like one piece kind of drastically knocks over the next. I'm curious.
Oh yeah, Justin Bieber freaking like went to the shadows because he's trying to completely alienate himself from P Diddy. Because there's a lot of
conspiracies. There's a lot of conspiracies about him, about Usher.
Yeah.
Look, he's had these freak offs and these parties that now they're releasing these clips that through the years people have seen, but now you're looking at it with a different set of eyes, and the context is different. Where he's talking about the parties, he's talking about inviting people to his. There's clips of the parties themselves, like people at a P Diddy party, and it's like, what were y'all agreeing to do? What's and it's not so much like your fetish. I'm talking like the illegal activity of sex trafficking women and sex workers, male and female, and bringing them in and keeping them there, making them do things, recording them, like I said, to blackmail, to manipulate, to
he had the industry tied.
Man. My
and and like I said, there was only a handful of people that had the balls to say something about it, and they got banned or what do you call it, blacklisted.
Yeah.
And it's just insane, dude. Just the fucking shit that's insane. But I'm just like, the more and more time goes by, the more and more you find out how deep this shit goes. But it's crazy, dude.
Forbes put out Sean Diddy Combs arrested on racketeering, sex trafficking charges, a complete timeline. Oh, for sure. Now all the spam pops up on my screen. So Combs is arrested in Manhattan. He's arrested on the 16th, right? He's indicted by a grand jury. May 29th. And May 29th, federal investigators bring Combs' accusers to testify before a grand jury. On the 24th of May, April Lampros accuses Combs in a lawsuit filed in New York over 4 terrifying sexual encounters between 95 and 2001. What 95 really is the birth and the beginning of probably like 93, 94, Bad Boy. Biggie was already kind of like reaching his momentum in 95. But listen, May 19th, Cassie Ventura, which is Combs' ex-girlfriend, speaks out after CNN obtained a 2016 video of Combs attacking her in the hotel hallway. Now, she speaks out because CNN has this video all of a sudden. How did CNN get this video? I don't know those details, but it just makes you wonder, like, Diddy is suing Ciroc, I think, or he sued Ciroc and he won for racial discrimination, something along those lines. And then all of a sudden, shit starts popping off, and I think the conspiracy theorists are going to start taking that route. I am the believer of, if you are doing this and people find out about it and use it against you, Godspeed, bro. That you had that coming. You can't do things like this and then try to muscle your way where big cats that play also are going to be like, oh, okay, we're going to get information on this guy, because I can see that being a play. That's happening. Yeah, dude.
It's just like organized crime. You go to the top and you fuck around with a different boss, man, you're going down one way or the other. Like, you got to think, a lot of the mafia heads got because their own people snitched on them. So you got to imagine the same thing's happening to him. But good, because now things are coming to light. And like I said before, I really hope he does start naming names, because they all need to be fucking got, because this is like exhausting.
Well, and it's not going to stop.
You can't go to industry. You start, a new career, your music career, your, whatever, your movie career, without getting slapped in the face with baby oil. You gotta. It's like now it's a baby oil free environment where you can just grow.
I think too, like, it kind of shows you the gatekeeping that takes place when it comes to stardom and fame, because people are willing to do whatever and I don't want to blame the victims here. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, people are blinded by their want and need for success, that they're willing to be humiliated or put in compromising positions that are brutal and unfair and unjust. And they get taken advantage of, and
yes, and that's where it lies.
Many different ways. Yeah, like you have situations like this. You have situations like Weinstein. You have situations like Epstein. You have like situations of the guy that created all the boy bands, the NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. And he ended up dying in prison.
That guy. Yeah,
like people take advantage, and when there's money involved in power, what Diddy was doing, it just looked like he was really trying to create an empire where he fucking ruled in many different ways, illegal and legal.
Yep. He fed it, man. He fed on people that wanted to live that dream, that wanted to climb. And he knew what he had, and he fed on it like a fucking predator, man. Now he's just running around with in prison with R. Kelly and trying to come up with a new album. Trying to get the fuck out of there because he's stuck. He's fucked now, though. One way or the other, he's screwed. Remember
in the beginning of the year, Cat Williams went on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp.
He was one of the guys that was warning to everybody, and he was one of the people that got blacklisted.
He was pretty much saying this year, shit's going to happen, and it's just crazy. February 26th.
Cat Williams has been saying it for years.
Producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones sues P. Diddy in New York and alleges he was subjected to unwanted advances of associates of Diddy at his direction and was forced to engage in relations with sex workers he hired. In a set of widely covered allegations, Jones says in the lawsuit that Combs regularly hosted sex trafficking parties with underage women and illegal drugs, and implies record label executives who looked the other way financially benefited from access to celebrities and dignitaries like the British royal Prince Harry.
Yeah.
I mean, where I just feel like we could very well just be thinking that we're going to start seeing some shit, and then you can watch the powers that be control and manipulate wipe it out anyway. But
I mean, that's what they did before.
It's definitely an eye-opener to what's going on in that world. And of course, I hope that the people that were hurt and abused, the women that were hurt and abused, and the men, I hope that there's some sort of rectifying and justification for them. Vindication is what I'm thinking of. Because we're just looking at it like we're having a funny, take on it. Because when you hear 1,000 bottles of lubrication and baby oil being seized in a home raid out of 3 homes, Miami, LA, and I think it was 2 in Florida and 1 in LA. But regardless, dude, that's just funny.
Like a lot. I mean, and 748 dildos, dude. 748. That's the magic number right there.
Go play those numbers, Dave. 740.
You gotta play those numbers, man, because I'm telling you what. Like, seriously?
It's a shame. So right now he is on suicide watch. They're gonna watch his ass. I can't back out. I don't know what Google's doing here, but I mean,
let's not do that. That's probably what got him in trouble to begin with.
Ex-porn star tells cops in 2018 he's Sean. In 2018, he was P. Diddy's alleged sex slave. And a resurfaced video. So this was from 2018.
Wow.
An ex-porn star is arrested, and while he's being detained and interrogated, he brings up that he was a sex slave for P. Diddy and Cassie, that he was forced to have sex with Cassie while P. Diddy masturbated. P. Diddy's also masturbating while these freak-offs and acts are taking place. He's got a really he got a fetish, bruh. Like he I had sex with Cassie and Sean, he says. He would masturbate and tell me what to do to Cassie. I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. So, I mean,
look, saying for them, that's so she was involved too.
She was involved, but I mean, considering the structure, I'm sure she didn't have a choice in it. She was also being abused.
Yeah. Got to.
So it just, man, I don't know, man. I just freak offs. I was listening to Ebro in the morning, and they were kind of joking around how, like, you can't even say freak offs anymore. You can't say freakniks anymore. You can't play the freaks come out at night anymore. You can't. No, the word freak.
Now it
freak out.
It all has different meanings now. You can't do it anymore. Like, it all has different meanings, dude.
Do you feel that, going back to the Cat Williams thing that I mentioned, that there is a shift taking place where there's some accountability that is being had with these people of power this year so far? Oh yeah,
it's going to be like, right now there's a giant vacuum that's happening. So those who are involved are losing. They're just losing grip. They're losing the fight. So all the way up to the politicians involved in all this, this coming to light. You can only hide so much in this new age of media, the new age of being on camera, that you just can't get away from it now. It's going to happen. It's going to come out. All you need is a phone. All you need is a phone and the video, and it exposes it exposes your empire and crash it down. So, these people who cause all these issues or who are doing sex trafficking are trying to be more creative and trying to hide themselves. But, dude, it's a vacuum now. They got P. Diddy. Who's next? You see what I'm saying? So it's these politicians that are now, that were caught before and are hiding behind their rules are now fucking shitting their pants because they're like, God damn, it's getting closer. The fucking heat's rising, man, and it's gonna about to burn. So I'd say fucking let it burn.
Yeah, I especially when you have the abuse of women. Which I know that you feel the same way. But we just don't fucking condone that shit. You can't put your hands on a woman, especially in such a heinous manner where like, you're just trying to dominate and prove your superiority. You're trying to be this god, if you will, which I feel like when people are in the position like what P. Diddy was, he's untouchable. You can't fuck with him, and that can be a very, very dangerous place to be.
That's what caused his downfall.
He was denied bail. He was denied bail after a judge determined during the hearing that the bail package presented by the defense was insufficient. He was offering $50 million. He was offering his passports, his kids' passports, his mother's passport. He was, I think, the deed to his home, or one of his homes. The amount of shit he was promising to wear a monitor, so because they were considering him a flight risk, but also they were saying, listen, he could go and get to one of these witnesses because there are witnesses being pulled in now. So this is just the tip of an iceberg. Or he can have somebody else get to them. Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's a crazy scenario.
Yeah, even as we speak right now, he's probably trying to pull strings and trying to get these witnesses to shut the fuck up. You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to hurry up before he does that, before he gets it, these people cleaned out. Because money pushes, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, and money, yeah. They say money is the root of all evil. It's things like this. If you remember that video he made when he apologized, there's something. I'm gonna read this quote because, he makes it seem like that video footage of him attacking Cassie was like a moment in his life that he's not proud of, obviously. But he makes it seem like that it was a moment. It's so difficult to reflect in the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and sought out professional help, had to go into therapy, go into rehab, had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry, but I'm committed to being a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry. That was in regards to just one moment that people were able to see because there was video footage of it. What about all the other shit that you've been doing for years that apparently really goes back to the mid to early 90s?
Yeah,
so
I mean, you got
the abuse.
You got to break down that apology. Like,
oh my God, dude!
Seriously, let's break down that apology. Like, number one, P Diddy didn't write that shit. He had his fucking publicist write that shit. His what do you call it? The crowd control person that
PR.
The PR person wrote that apology. Why? Because they hit up on very important parts. Number one, they said, God. Once you bring God into the mix and ask for God's forgiveness, there's a lot of Christians out there that says, okay, he asked for God's forgiveness. He must really feel sorry, and then they move on with their lives because that's all you have to tell them. And then you have other people who say, oh, wait, he's looking for help. He said he's looking for help. Okay, that we accept his apologies. You see what I'm saying? So he's playing to these people's heartstrings. Number one, using religion. Number two, saying that he's seeking help when he's not seeking help. The help was always there. He can afford to get help, but he's not seeking help. You see what I'm saying? And he's saying that he's genuflecting and looking inside of himself saying, yeah, I've hit rock bottom. You didn't look like you fucking hit rock bottom, because you're partying every other weekend. So it's like,
right,
you're playing the game again. Like even your apology says you're full of shit because it's a cut and paste apology. You talk about God, then you talk about finding help. Okay, then you apologize and always say you hit rock bottom because everybody says that in their fucking apology after they beat the shit out of somebody or they sex traffic somebody. Oh, I hit rock bottom. No shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but it's always convenient to say that after you've been outed.
Yeah. You know what rock bottom is? Rock bottom is like fucking coming out of a bar at 3:00 in the morning, not having a place to go and sleeping in a cardboard box. That's fucking rock bottom to me. Not running to your personal private island, to another house, dipping
that's
in
what,
the kiddie
I'll tell you what,
baby oil.
He looked like he hit rock bottom in that video when he was recording. He could tell, the stress on his face, the grays were coming out. Wherever he was, he couldn't get that for men fucking hair dye for his beard.
Yeah, for men.
Yeah, he couldn't, just for men.
He couldn't hire his men. That's what it was. It wasn't rock bottom. That shit was jet lagged. He was jet lagged. That's what it was. He wasn't apologizing. He was apologizing he didn't get like first class. He had to fly coach. That's why he had fucking gray hair. I'm telling you, man. These people are so full of shit. But what's crazy about this is we know there's a pandemic with sex trafficking. We know there's a pandemic with underage child abuse. Both sexual and physical. There's a pandemic out there, and the powers that be are involved, and nobody's doing anything about it. The people in religion are involved, and I'm probably gonna get slack for that, but you know what? It's fucking true.
Yeah,
like
he was protected for a while,
and nobody's doing anything about it because they're afraid to. Nobody wants to touch a politician. Nobody wants to touch a religious figure because all these people ever do is blame the victim and tell them, oh, it was their fault. They should have never dressed like that. They should never came on like that. You see what I'm saying? They should have stopped me. That's who the fuck says that shit? That's horrible. Right. But people are afraid because once they're caught, then all of a sudden they got the rock bottom apology. It's fucking insane, dude. I hit rock bottom. You fucking think?
It's just convenient that you're talking about it now. You're saying that you went and got
all
the
of
help.
a sudden.
But the freak offs continued. Those lubes, that lubrication had been in your possession at least since the apology was issued out. So that it went like, that lube was that's been there for 10 years. I stopped using that. I'm a changed man now. Like
when I hit rock bottom was when I realized how many dildos I actually had in my collection.
I hit rock bottom
number.
I go to inventory counts on my dildos and realized I'm in a dark place. I've hit rock bottom.
Imagine having to be the cleaning person that had to clean that room. Oh my god.
Dude, he would pay the hotel staff. He would pay to have the baby oils in the room. The room's cleaned. There was a whole system, which is why that goes back to the organized crime, the racketeering.
And all these people that knew, shut the hell up. They didn't say anything.
People were getting paid off. There was a structure,
or getting paid to shut up. They would rather get that money and never say anything and allow. I mean, let's just be honest. They're allowing the abuse to continue because they want to earn a paycheck. They think money's more worth it than somebody else's life.
Amen. Very few people.
You know what I mean?
Got out of that. We saw Biggie die. We saw Craig Mack die. We saw Black Rob die. There's other people. There's other people that are still alive, but were in Bad Boy, and they got left behind. The only person that did not take the money and did his own thing was Mace, and now Mace is doing good with his own podcast with Cameron. And he's living his life, and he's worshiping and praising God, and he's doing his thing. I can only imagine what Mace is thinking now, looking at what's happening, because he knew that shit wasn't right. That shit's not for me.
Yep. And let's hope he wasn't involved, because either he's like, all right, sitting high and good, or he's shitting bricks right now. So who knows? Only time will tell, right? Because like I said, he had a fucking list, dude. He had a fucking list.
People are saying that Ben Affleck wanted the divorce from J-Lo because the FBI showed him the stuff that they found with P. Diddy when she was with him. And it's like...
What is she? She had her own...
It makes you wonder. Like, you may not want to hang around with her because we're about to hit Diddy with something, and she's going to get tied in, and right now she's your wife. And he's like, what do you mean? And there's Jennifer Lopez in the freak off, which, I mean, like, the pervert in me is like, oh, no, it's Johnny J-Lo, the freak off. Oh, no. But then I'm like, wait a minute. No, let me get back on track here.
She had an autographed dildo. That's what it was.
All right,
number
man.
748.
She's probably dildo number 10.